The Hirshberg Foundation has a distinction of being the very first pancreatic cancer foundation that was ever started in the United States.
Here at UCLA, it's very clear how big of an impact the Hirshberg Foundation has had.
Augie was literally the pioneer when it came to starting a foundation.
In addition to that, I think that they have brought great awareness to the problems.
If every group had such a good track record, our country would be doing extremely well with not only pancreas cancer research, but lots of other aspects as well.
At the time we started, it was said that pancreatic cancer was 30 years behind all other cancers currently. And I can say to you that in 20 years, we're neck and neck. Every patient is a friend, every patient's family becomes a friend. And it's basically you look into each other's eyes with a family and you know exactly what they're feeling. You're not guessing what they're feeling, you know what they're feeling.
Having somebody there to talk to them about their diagnosis, getting a second opinion, alternative care, clinical trials, any question that a newly diagnosed patient or family member would have, we want them to be able to call us and know that there's a human being on the other end of the phone who's there, who's been through it.
A little over a year ago, actually, it was January of last year, I was
diagnosed in July of 2015.
I'm a 5-year survivor of pancreatic cancer.
It turned out that I had a miraculous shrinkage in a short amount of time.
Be optimistic that people are surviving, can survive, and you can be one of them.
The Hirshberg Foundation, because it really was, I would say, integral in saving my life, being part of this community.
And now it's 16 years later. I feel great.
We fund research at UCLA, where our laboratories are, and we also fund research through our Sea Grant program, which funds startup research at institutions of both the United States and globally.
Nobody can do anything unless they have money to do it with.
We have supported 63 scientists, clinicians, and young investigators.
First grant application cycle received 7 grants. 2 or 3 years ago, the applications were 100 grants.
Those 63 people that we have supported, many of them are now matured and run their own pancreatic cancer center program.
We create awareness through physical fitness events. My brother John organized the first 5K.
That run, now going on 20 years, was a way that I was able to get more people aware of pancreatic cancer and then start to get families and people together that have been affected.
And the Hirshberg training program, going on since 2002, created a different vehicle for us to reach people. Then 5 years ago, John and his friend Heath had this idea about the Tour de Pier.
Teamed up and pulled off the first Tour de Pier, which we have an event that we actually raised $1 million in a single event. We're going to keep finding ways to accelerate and maximize the opportunity that we get with these events that we create.
I have a scientific advisory board of 12 phenomenal physicians, clinicians, researchers.
The leaders in the pancreatic cancer medical community from institutions across the country.
In addition, is provide patient education.
The program at UCLA brings together clinicians from different specialties who have a primary interest, expertise in pancreatic diseases.
It brings hope, and then it gives the opportunities for the doctors to get together and talk about some of the things that they're finding.
20 years later, she still has that same amount of drive, that absolute determination.
For those of us that have, lost our loved ones, to know that we didn't give up, to know that we're continuing their battle.
I always tell people that I encounter with the diagnosis, don't ever lose hope.
Given it an attitude of saying we can make it, you can survive, you can go on with your life.
There are survivors who have managed to get through surgery, through chemotherapy, and to live a wonderful, productive life. I'm not the only one.
I'm optimistic, and my goal is to live to be at least 80.
I think if you ask Aggie, is she happy where we're at 20 years later? She'll be happy when we finally have found a cure.
Until that day comes, we're not going anywhere. My mom's not giving up. Our doctors aren't giving up. So we don't want the families that have been impacted by this disease to give up either.